comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello, welcome to a brand new, very special Nerds United Live on YouTube and Facebook, and I'm honored. It's like old times to have the co-host of the year right here in my kitchen. I'm the host, Greg Mahachko. He is Mike Luther.
I don't have to do this. When I'm at my laptop, I have to point the opposite direction.
I usually point over here.
Yeah. We were talking about this before the show started. So I'm 6 foot. You're 6'3", probably.
Yeah.
But on here, for whatever reason, it looks like I'm way taller than you.
Gandalf and Frodo.
Yes. So.
Welcome to everybody who's in the chat. Fred's here, Highlander's here, BFOTS, Josh Hansen.
Made it.
Actually here. And he's not wrong.
By the way, did you show him the board?
No.
Okay.
But he says Mike looks even more handsome than usual.
Well, thank you.
So
I don't feel handsome, but thank you.
I just want you to know I've already had a pitcher of beer because I've been to a fish fry.
Okay. I have not had a pitcher of beer.
Well, yeah.
I haven't even had a beer yet.
Shall we?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Is these twist off or
these are twisties?
Oh, they are. Okay.
Wouldn't do your own. Yingling.
And I'm doing a winter ale.
That's right. They I've been doing.
Yeah.
Cheers, brother. So I asked Mike. I mean, we planned. This is not like Mike. What do you do? Get over here.
Yeah.
20 minutes. This is a very special episode because this is the last.
This is the last 400. We're done. We're done. 400. You did 400 of them, and I did 400 minus 95.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
So that's 305.
Yeah. That's a lot.
And I think it's funny, I mentioned this in the write-up, is I started this, I guess, let's start at the very beginning. In June, or let's say May of 2013, I'm working in radio. I took over the sports gig at the beginning of the year. And I had a very minimal on-air shift, and I was just calling high school ball games. I had listened to my first podcast that February, and it was Kevin Smith podcast.
Of course, yes.
Shout out to the man. And they had the Smodcast, the Sears Smodcast Internet Radio. They had their own network.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, that's cool." I didn't give it much thought, and I'm sitting there, and I don't have an outlet for anything. I can't. It was old time country on the radio in the morning when I was actually talking on the radio, but mostly my focus was sports, and that's fine. I love sports. So I was like, I want an outlet. I want a place that I can talk, about, nerdy stuff. And I was heavily influenced by the AMC show, Comic Books Man.
Yeah.
I sought out the podcast thinking that it was just an extension of the show.
Oh.
And it was Kevin talk with Ming and Brian Johnson and the Comic Book Men. The show that I ended up finding was Fat Man on Batman, which was Kevin just talking with all these great writers, artists, actors, voice actors who had done work on, had enhanced the Bat character over the years. And so I at the time, there was somebody who had been in the radio. He had left. He went to sell cars. Later that year, we would just switch places. I want to sell cars.
That's all we
back to radio. But I don't even remember. So it was myself, and it was a different Josh. His nickname was Yoshi, and Toby. And the three of us are all kind of sitting there. And I think it was Josh who actually came up with the name Jittery Monkey.
Okay.
I don't know why. I got my boy Joe Dodd, who has done all of the artwork for all the Monkey podcasts, the Jittery Monkey podcasts up and down the years. And he started working on this, over caffeinated monkey. And so it was at first the Jittery Monkey podcast was the first episode ever on the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network, jitterymonkey.com. And Yosh had his own show, and it was on the recruiting trail. He was talking. There's a good guy, Scott, who I don't talk too much anymore, but he follows Division I basketball recruiting, specifically out of the Illinois or Missouri, Illinois, Indiana area. So that was there on the recruiting trail was theirs, and then I came along knowing that I wanted my show to be comic book, obviously, focused, and so I Nerds United became a thing, and the first episode dropped on June 10th, 2013. And if I can get it to cooperate, and I'm not saying I can, I'm going to try to play the clip of that very first. Here we go. See if I can't get this to upload. It's processing. So here's the sound of the very first episode going all the way back to June of 2013.
Comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United, a Jittery Monkey podcast. Here's your host, Greg Mahochko.
Welcome, fellow nerds, I say, and I say it with endearment to the first ever, the debut episode of Nerds United, a Jittery Monkey podcast. My name is Greg Mahochko, and I'll be your guide, your host, whatever you want to call it, through the kingdom of Nerdville.
So the show went on for another 55 minutes. That was the end of it. BFOTS Josh Hansen's right. That's Rob, the voice Kugler. And Rob, he has voiced a lot of stuff for me over the years in actual radio and in podcast land. I think he has been on the show before. And great dude, exceptionally talented. And again, I've kept his voice on Nerds United for almost 12 years, for the entire run. But that first episode, and some of you Husker fans will appreciate this because it was a UNL grad, UNL alum by the name of Van Jensen, who's from a small town out in the Sand Hills, who would go on. He wrote for DC Comics after an impressive independent comic writing career, and did Flash, did Green Lantern Corps, among other titles, and went and was I believe he was some type of an ambassador, for, I don't know, pop culture or something, but he was at some point in the government.
Okay.
Which is really weird. But he was a journalism grad from there at UNL. So we talked about the Huskers. So it was kind of a way to bring in, kind of get the ball rolling on that. But all that to say, the show started in June of 2013, and in 5 years later, in 2018, about that same time, April, May, or June, I brought you on.
Yes, because I don't even know if you remember this. I want to say it was probably a year before I came on. I mentioned something on Facebook about wanting to do a podcast, and then you were like, "Get a hold of me," and I didn't. I was like, okay.
Why would you, right?
No, I was going to, but it was just other stuff came up. And then when I lived in Belleville, I don't know how or why. We'd been talking on Facebook and stuff. I don't think we had talked about podcasts or anything. I think I knew you had you were doing a podcast. I had listened to a couple episodes. And then, you messaged me and were like, hey, this Friday, do you want to come on the show? And usually I don't like leaving my house. I don't like doing anything. But I didn't have an excuse. I was just like, yeah, I guess so. It'll be fun. And then I went there, and it was a blast. And then you're like, hey, stick around a little bit longer.
So basically it was, you were this close to never being on the show.
Yes, because again, and it's not that I didn't like the show, because obviously I did, but
and that's okay, and obviously I really think it was in COVID when we started to, because back, when Ashley worked nights,
Mhm.
you know, I'd put Garrett to bed, and sometimes you might show up before he was
Yeah,
asleep,
yeah,
and be like, Mike,
yeah. So
because we
often
were,
happened.
yeah, we were doing all these just recordings at the time instead of doing them live,
Yes.
and so it'd be like, hit pause,
Mhm.
get up, you know.
Yeah, we didn't start going live probably till COVID. Actually, made it afterwards. Honestly, because even start of 2020, which is 2019, 2020, technically COVID started. Then we weren't doing it live, but we weren't even on video.
No, we
it
were
was
audio
still
only.
audio only, bad audio too.
Well, hey,
Well, and we took a while to figure out what worked. One was getting mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
these were
We had headset. Do I still have my headset? I don't know. I have a headset.
probably
I have a headset at home that I use that for video, like playing video games and stuff. But yeah, so yeah, we finally went live. I want to say it was. Are you looking right now? See what our first one is?
I was trying to. Thanks for giving it away.
I was like, you can look online. You can look for older.
On 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know. 5 years ago is when. Their first one was 5 years ago.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna keep rolling. There's Nerds United on YouTube, episode 32.
yeah.
So we're getting there.
Well, and also what we did too is we wouldn't do the whole episode usually online or on YouTube. We would start off. We would do 15 minutes on YouTube, and then we would do the episode on audio only.
I remember that.
Yes. Sure. You look. See, like, we're looking.
You know, we got Nerds United introduction was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We're
By the way,
podcast. Probably still are.
Probably. I'm gonna say, I looked at that video. There's some handsome guys in that video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, 5 years ago, I'm like, I didn't look too bad. Now, well, something else, but we'll go back and look at that video. Young 5 year younger Mike, it's good.
This would have to be right before COVID, I would say.
Probably.
So I'm just because here's last package of toilet paper was, so we started doing some video, incorporating a video element just before COVID.
Yes.
And then I remember we did the one video over at your apartment doing the chicken tender taste test.
Yep.
So,
which I don't like that video at all.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It wasn't our best.
No.
But hey, I would also say that we amended things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
We got some things going.
Yeah.
And 4 years ago, we were in June of 2020, so I guess not technically 5 years ago. We were soliciting topics and subscribers. That's right. We were soliciting you.
We tried to get people to subscribe, and some people did.
Most people did. And that's okay, because that's how numbers work.
Yes.
Fred says, I feel like COVID era spawned a lot of podcasts. 2 or 3 people I know wanted to start podcasts with me, and I was like, are you high?
I mean, people like you're staying home where you're supposed to be staying home.
Yeah. And Fred wants to know the character on the right of my shirt, not Green Lantern, but the other one. Okay, this is great. So we actually had for a short while, we had merch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is actually us. There's me. And there's me. And these are Funko Pop kind of designs. And you can't tell, but I'm wearing, never mind, I'm just wearing a t-shirt, but I'm wearing headphones because I was doing the podcast. And Mike is dressed as a superhero or as my sidekick.
That's true. Yeah, sidekick.
Sidekick. Neither of them are Green Lantern. They are Funko Pop versions of us.
Yeah, I remember trying to do the merch. We probably should have had people listening first and then merch.
Yeah.
We didn't do it that way. And I don't know who outside of our family bought merch, to be honest with you. I know, like, my mom bought t-shirts, my sister bought t-shirts. My niece still, I don't know if she fits into it anymore, she's getting taller. But for a long time, she was still wearing her Nerds United t-shirt. Mine stopped fitting 3 years ago. So
BFOTS Josh.
Okay, nice.
Shirts. see, Fred, I guess the solicitations that Fred had for podcast adventures, 2 were nerd type shows. 1 was Husker /sports /pop culture /everything. And I still declined. Why is there a hole in my head? So
I was going to point that out too.
that is where the print has worn off because I always forgot to turn the shirt inside out when I put it in the wash. So, but surprisingly, the shirt still fits. Although, as you can see, it's riding up my muscular arms here.
It's true.
So, no, it's. I don't think many people know this. I interviewed or was trying to interview for a sports /pop culture /everything job when I was still I was living with Josh up in Chattanooga at the time. The gig was down in Colorado Springs, and I had sent them a CD, like a sound check, resume, cover letter, all the stuff you're supposed to send, and I kept calling all the time, like, yeah, well, you should come on down for an audition. We'll just throw you on the air. It's like, cool. And the week before I was supposed to go down, I called him again just to double check and say, oh yeah, no, we found your CD. It's not really what we're looking for.
Oh wow.
But the idea was it was an afternoon drive sports talk show,
mm-hmm.
and it was it basically it said, imagine you and your buddy at the bar, and just talking about sports, but talking about anything else. They said, and on Wednesdays, we broadcast live from the Hooters. I was like,
okay, sounds great.
Sold. So I still went down there because my buddy Joe was stationed down at Colorado Springs at the time. So I still went camping. I was right around Memorial Day. I got pissed drunk in the mountains and did not get a job at a Colorado Springs station. So, which, hey, sometimes that's life, and you take the good, you take the bad, you take the both, and there you have
the facts of life.
The facts of life.
Bradley D from I was going to say ABCD Bigs
and the Deuce.
Yeah.
Why don't you read that one?
He said, Mike, you're awesome. You're the best person I know. No, it says, thanks for the support through the years, and thanks for being nerds. I will think of you guys when I rewind my VHS tapes. Keep uniting Greg and Mike. Thank you for doing an awesome podcast. I remember what he had a podcast that we were both on. I can't remember. It wasn't ABC Big, or maybe it was.
It was ABC.
Was it ABC
for
Big?
Various topics.
Well, yeah. That was a good one. And I also liked his. I think they did one that the audio was messed up on it, and it sounds like it would be horrible. But they just I forgot they switch audio on it, and then I like their version of Tim and John's top 5. Yeah, I think it was top 5 letters or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll say that for later, Joshua. So it took 5 years to get to episode 100,
mm-hmm.
and 7 years to tack on another 300.
Yeah.
So and largely because of this guy here, because I would joke and be like, hey, in fact. Mike, should we play the clip now of your debut?
Sure. Okay.
Let's do that. Let's play the clip of Mike's debut.
But this is we're going to deep dive. I say we. I'm joined by a face, a name, a voice that I haven't seen in person since high school.
It's true.
Mike, are we allowed to give your last name?
Yeah,
Mike?
Luther. Yeah, that's fine. Nobody knows who I am. It's fine.
And nobody listens to the podcast.
So we're good. We're good to go.
This is the episode 18 years in the making. We went to high school together, graduated class of 2000. Do you remember the class motto?
We had a class motto?
Every class had a class motto at Westglen High School, Trenton, Illinois.
I have no clue what our class motto was.
Is it sad that I do remember it?
Yeah, well, a little bit, but go ahead. What is it?
The class of 2000, always forever, the best, maybe I don't remember.
Yeah. Not much changed.
Yeah.
A lot of beers been drank since
it's true.
Graduation. So I remember leading up to that, I said, yeah, it's not going to be 6 months, from the prior episode. I had done it just the night before, and the night before was a spoiler-free episode for Avengers Infinity War.
Yep.
And you said, I'm coming on, but we're going to spoil the shit out of it. And buddy, that's what we did.
Yeah, because I think it had been out for a while. And enough, like, so some podcasts, it was like they will spoil it that day. You know,
Was that Mr. Sunday?
Yeah. But we waited a little bit. I think I wanted to spoil it. Probably a lot of the movies we've seen, I wanted to spoil them right away. And you're more like, no, let's wait till it's on streaming or whatever. Well, the only reason is because like that it's a timing thing.
Sure.
You know, where
We want to be current.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was episode 95. And 304 episodes, now 305 to this episode here. We've stayed on target or on task, or at least somewhat on schedule, largely because of you.
Could be. There's a handful of times that we had to skip a week, probably more than a handful, but for the most part, yeah, we did it every week.
I loved the episode or the weeks where it'd be like Friday at 7:30, and I'm just not feeling it. And I'd message you, be like, "Can we just not do it tonight?"
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. And then maybe Saturday, and then Saturday I really didn't want to do it, but sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah. There was a couple times like that for me too. Just like,
I guess that's the flexibility we had, because I don't know if the good people out there in viewer land know we never made a dime on this ever. So because of that, we were not beholden to any carrot dangling sponsors.
Don't get me wrong, I would have loved it.
Yeah,
but
so because of that, like we were like, you know what, we got to do it because we wanted to do it.
Yes.
And it's not so much we don't want to do it now. It's just like we're both, I'm using the time away from my boys to work more. We had said when I moved across town, it just kind of worked. Like we'll just do every other week.
Yeah.
I don't have the boys, and that's worked out well. There was one time you came over, like, I'm not feeling it. Let's just have some beers and visit. Otherwise, this show would have been done 2 weeks ago.
I'll tell you, I don't think I told you that, but I knew like episode 300. I was like, I think I'm going to go to 400. That's it.
Oh, you never told me that.
Yeah, no, I didn't tell you that.
You're like, I'm sick of this guy.
No, it was just like there's just so much other stuff going on, and it is like, okay, every Friday we got to get together, and like I like talking to you, but like we can talk and message each other at any time, or just hang out and stuff like that. So I think I told you like 390, like, hey, I'm going to be done at 400, and I wasn't sure if you were going to stay on or if you were going to be like, okay, I'm going to end it too.
Well, because you were going back to school.
Yes.
And so that's
a big thing too.
A lot of your focus. And I'm just, I'm doing the 5 Heart podcast on Thursday nights. And then like, I think what I don't want to say what did it for me, but a couple of weeks back or a couple months back, we had Nolan on the show.
Yeah.
And that was great.
Yes.
And I've gotten into Dungeons and Dragons a little bit, and I've seen the algorithm knows all. And so I've seen in my Facebook reels, the actress who plays Karen Page on Daredevil.
Yes.
Who I don't know her name.
Karen Page.
Yeah.
No, I think it's Deborah Ann Wool, maybe.
Sure. But she's sitting there with John Bernthal and teaching him about D&D.
Just very basics of it.
And how she's building the story. And he's like, she lays out an example of him. He's like, can I see? Can I see what's over there? Like, how far away is it? She's like, oh, let's roll for perception. Let's check your stat sheet and everything. And so, what we're gonna do, not every other week, not all the time, but we're just gonna have more like offline. We're gonna, as we would tell the kids, get out and touch grass, except we're not gonna touch grass. That's right. Deborah Ann Wool. There you go. BFOTS, Josh Hansen coming through with the save. So we're gonna just spend more time offline, which I probably need, and get do some D&D or just hang out, have a couple beers, and relax. And I'll do my best not to fall asleep in my chair.
That's good. Yeah, I asked Nolan how long it would take him to build like a one shot for us, and he's like, "Oh, that day." Huh. He's like, try. I thought it maybe need a week or something. Right. He's like, no, I can throw something together, maybe like the day before.
Okay.
So yeah, we always figure this out. We have to figure out the time where you don't have the kids and Nolan's off, and then I'm available. which I'm pretty free except for at least on weekends.
Sweet.
Yes.
So that's kind of what we're going to do moving forward. But I was ready because I hate to say it, that not wrong. I'm still going to fall asleep in my chair.
That's true. Yeah.
It still happens kind of a lot.
I wish I could fall asleep as fast as you do.
Now I have two chairs. I can fall asleep upstairs and downstairs. And it's not that here's the thing. I don't even realize I'm tired. I think it's because I'm out of weight. I'm out of weight. I'm out of shape. And so like my breathing, I'm just like, so I probably need to get that looked at.
Probably, yes. I know like when we would hang out, like watch a movie or something like that, I would look at you and you'd be doing this.
Oh, okay. Well.
And so, but that's interesting. Like people don't, a lot of times people don't realize when they're tired, something like that. But yeah, then you'd fall asleep, and then I'd be like, either finish the movie or I'd be like, I'm just gonna go now.
It's only happened a couple of times.
There was we watched Ready Player One. I remember that.
That was yeah.
And then I think the Solo.
Oh, okay.
I want to say that one. One of them I left for, and one of them I stayed till the end.
I think you stayed for Ready Player One.
I think that's right.
Which is the better of the two movies to stay for, honestly.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
So anyway, it was decided here a couple months back. We'll get to 400 and we'll call it a show.
By the way, so Kevin, my 123 cents is still on the network.
Yes, he'll be the only show.
So there's only one show on a network.
Well, let's talk about this. The network started with, again, the Jittery Monkey podcast, and on the recruiting trail, eventually Nerds United. On the recruiting trail, fell off very quickly. Jittery Monkey podcast was pretty quick to follow. So Nerds United was it for about a year and a half, and then it was towards the end of 2014. I reached out to Kevin because he had done some a radio call-in show down south, like late on a Sunday or something like that, when you could just go in and nobody cared. And Kevin's a great dude, and I said, hey, you want to do? I got space on the podcast or on the platform. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. So he's still every Monday morning since like November or December of 2014. There's a new Nerds United podcast.
My 123 cents.
Yes, that's it. Definitely not Nerds United. New My 123 cents, the podcast, and he eclipsed this show a long time ago.
Yes. Yes.
Like so long ago.
Yeah.
And so, but there was also Popped Culture, which was kind of like this, but a different take.
Yeah.
For a little while, Chad and I had Greg and Chad's Power Half Hour.
I remember that one. I liked that one.
We did 1 year, 52 episodes. We took a year off and we started another season of it. The whole idea being the show gets cut off at 30 minutes no matter what.
Yes.
And it did.
Yes.
And we either wrapped it up or
it just
cut me off at the time. So, and then I feel like I'm missing some. Hold on. Keep talking to the good people.
No, I was wondering what shows were all on there because like I said I knew of Greg and Chad's Power Half Hour. Like I said I really liked that one.
Is that because it was so short?
No, I think you and Chad I think had good rapport with each other. Yeah, very good dude.
The other one that Chad had was Positive Cynicism.
Yes.
And I still don't remember what that one was about.
Positive cynicism.
Being positive and also being a little cynical. So,
which I think I still have the Be Positive shirts. Like he also had merch.
It's true.
Yeah. I don't fit into that one either at all. But it was cool.
So I think that's all the shows that were. Well, the 5-part podcast started as a Jittery Monkey show with myself and Brian Toll, and eventually got brought over to Coordination.
Yeah,
and now it's
making money.
So,
and have people watch it.
People sometimes. A lot of most of the people who are here now usually watch. 5-part podcast too. So works out really well. It's a good time, Mike. We're half an hour into this. We actually do have some things to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No.
we entertain the good people while I get some comments?
Sure.
Great. Excellent. Entertain them.
All right, people. What's up? We got questions. I don't know why I'm scooting over, so I'm gonna have to scoot over again. But let's see here. What do we got? I don't have any comments, by the way, people. Oh, Grandpa Pitt. Okay. We got Pit Snipe Husker on here now.
What's up, man? And we're back. You know it's a good day when you got a purple bag. From
True.
Twilight Comics, Swansea, Illinois. Mike, I got to ask, have you been to the comic book shop lately? Have you
Nope.
acquired or read anything?
Nope.
Okay. Well, let me share with you some of my acquisitions.
Okay.
Fellas. All right. We have Absolute Batman number 6. I can do this.
Yeah.
Look at that. And we have Absolute Superman number 5.
Mhm.
Haven't read any of these yet.
Have you read the previous ones? Are you up to at least up to date on them?
No.
Okay.
I've read 2 and 3.
Okay.
I believe. New is Absolute Flash. So we have Absolute Flash number 1. I believe Absolute Green Lantern's coming out. We'll see.
Okay.
And I think that's the first, maybe Martian Manhunter. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
So we have, I was told book 2, it's been a long time since book 1.
Yeah.
But I've also been told the reason why is the artist. Anyway, it's Superman, The Last Days of Lex Luthor. And I was told by Tim at Twilight Comics, Swansea, Illinois, because the artist, Brian Hitch, is a little meticulous. It takes him a long time to do the pencils.
Okay. Sure.
Things like that. So still looking forward to that. I'm going to have to find book 1.
I think I have book 1.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, I'll about just give you book
Yeah.
2 then and let you. And then the one that I was pretty excited about, you remember the Dark Knights of Steel?
Yes.
This is Dark Knights of Steel tie-in. It's all winter. And that's all I know. Like that glare, everybody? You like that glare on your screen? That doesn't do anything for everybody. There, all winter. Haven't even cracked the seal on that bad boy yet. So that's what I'm still reading Batman Around the World or something.
Okay.
So,
Best friend of the show, Josh, wants to know what are the absolute DCs?
oh, Josh. It's I don't say relaunch, but it's a slightly different version of the stories that the characters you know and love. And for example, Absolute Batman, Bruce Wayne ain't rich. Spoiler: his dad was killed, but not his mom, and they live kind of in a not great place. He still has a very sharp mind. He's very, I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, went to school to become an engineer or
Yes.
something like that. He's traveled the world. He's still very skilled, and he's trying to clean up Gotham, but without any of the financial resources that Bruce Wayne has. And Alfred is not a butler in this version. He is, we'll get there, Pitt. Or actually, no, we already talked about Pitt. You'll have to go back and wait. Alfred is like a think of like MI6?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So British secret intelligence. So kind of like Marvel's Ultimate version, a little bit, but dark, you know. And from what I can tell so far, and again, I've not read every title or every issue rather. I don't believe these are as connected as the Ultimates kind of were. So more differenter.
Sure.
Yeah. That's exactly how I would describe it. So, so that's what I've read. Have you read anything not for school?
No, I can only read school stuff now. And I read articles and stuff for school, which is all the same. That's what I'm going to have to do tomorrow. It's a lot of reading.
Fred summing it up or trying to sum it up. Pitt, the show is ending because we're going to take of our shit. That's not it. We really appreciate you all. And you know, it's great to have, you know, this opportunity to have fellowship with you all, you know, because again, everybody here, is here from the 5 Heart Podcast. So this is a different outlet. It's a different way to connect and bond over something else. It's just life, man. So I'm not, and I think it's important to say, Mike, that the show is ending. That's not to say we'll never pop up again. Like
there's 2 weeks from now, and then
but a couple of years from now, there's going to be a couple more Avengers movies that we're probably going to want to talk about.
Yes. Well, are we talking about the cast today? The one things we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. By the way, we're 35 minutes in, and I told you in the beginning, I said, no, this is just my personal preference. Josh may disagree. I said, I like my whiskey cold. Like it's better cold. So you had it in the freezer, getting nice cold.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just sat here. We have these. This is Maker's Mark, by the way, and it's not getting any colder.
Do you want to down it now?
So let's do it.
By the way, yeah, the big glasses of small pours. That's totally my fault. I don't drink a lot of whiskey, so I drink beer. I'm gonna be drinking beer next week on my trip. So are we gonna shoot this?
Yeah.
All right. Let's launch, my friend. It just burns the nose. At least I didn't. I might have been the first one to come, but I wasn't the only one.
All right.
I got that out of the way. Josh also likes his whiskey cold, but he's not a Makers fan.
Okay.
Well, the Makers was free.
Yes.
Makers was a housewarming gift from a guy I work with. So.
Who doesn't know you, apparently.
And also didn't think that you'd be here to enjoy any of it, Josh. So didn't take your opinions into consideration.
But I mean, you're welcome to come.
Yeah, I mean, just let me know.
Yeah.
I won't change the locks or anything. Might change the key code to the garage door. I don't know. So we have some topics.
Okay. Let's get on it.
One of those topics. Well, before we get to the topic, have you watched anything in the last 2 weeks?
I'm up to date on Daredevil now.
I'm
again. It's good. I would non spoilers for you. I will say it is by far my favorite Marvel show. I look forward to it. Could there be more Daredevil on it? Yes. I saw a line again. I hope this isn't a spoiler. That somebody called it the Kingpin therapy session.
Okay,
and they're not.
It's kind of like season 3, really.
Yeah, they're not wrong. But yeah, again, I'm enjoying it. There's 6 episodes in. They dropped the last 5 and 6, whatever it was, Tuesday or whenever it was. So I think there are going to be 10 episodes total. Again, it's great. It's by far the best show.
Is it the best season?
Gosh. Maybe it's. I think it connects really good to the season 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Josh can't wait to start Daredevil again. And so I'm woefully behind. I just kind of stopped watching the Marvel Netflix shows.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the second season of Jessica Jones.
It's okay.
Not as good as the first one.
No, not even close.
And so I've never seen the Punisher season.
Punisher was pretty good.
Okay. So there's work for me to do there. So I'm watching season 3. I think I'm in the 7th episode.
Okay.
So making some, but you're right. It's very Kingpin heavy.
Yes.
So
yes.
Need more of the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, in my opinion. So you've watched that. I've been watching some Daredevil again. Season 3. Do you know what is out now on Netflix that you can watch?
It's Craven.
Craven.
You know what? Honestly, I started watching it and then I had to turn it off. I just didn't care.
Oh.
I
watched it all yesterday.
That doesn't surprise me. You could have been watching a good show rather than Craven.
I liked it.
No, it was,
there were parts that I was like, but I think for me, it's the same issue that I had with Joker or any of these where the focus is on what we know traditionally to be a villain. Like,
yeah.
I've never known Craven to be an anti-hero, which is what Netflix description describes him as. It's like, where was that moment in the movie where he goes dark, and then, because we see, and I'm not even going to bother with spoiler alerts. If you wanted to watch Craven by now, you get the opportunity to watch Craven. But I'll say this, they had the spider tie-in where he's kind of hallucinating.
Yeah.
And he's freaking out over seeing, imagining a bunch of spiders all over him. I don't know how he gets from that point to hunting Peter Parker in New York City.
Because the only reason they had that scene in there was for the trailer. So people would watch the trailer and they would think, oh, Spider-Man's going to be in this. Because I don't know why. There has to be something with the contract between Sony and Marvel. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they're not. Even forget about the Tom Holland. Why don't they make some other Spider-Man?
Right.
Why don't they?
Why
don't they bring in Miles Morales? Why don't they bring in Spider-Gwen? I don't care. Somebody, but they don't. They kept. And I think they're done now. But they kept trying to have the villains without Spider-Man. It's like it doesn't work.
No.
They tried it with well, not that there's a villain, but Madam Web. Well, no, she's a villain. Madam Web, Craven, Morpheus.
Morbius.
Oh.
It's Morbin time.
That's right. Yeah, that's how bad that movie was. I just forgot the name of it.
Did you remember? You remember Madam Web, which is much worse than Morbius.
True. I've never even seen that one, and nor will I watch it. It's
you have to, Mike. You have to.
No,
Mike. You have to.
No, I will watch good shows. See, you could have. So Craven the Hunter is probably 2 hours long.
Yeah, 210.
Right. So that you could have watched another episode or 2 episodes of Daredevil.
I could have got up to date on Reacher, maybe.
Yes, which I'm not up to date at all.
Because,
I don't have Apple Prime.
Apple Prime?
I don't have Apple Prime.
What about Amazon Prime?
Don't have that either.
Oh, man. And the other one that I'm watching is Mythic Quest.
I need to get on. Yeah. So Mythic Quest is that 3rd season? 4th? 3rd?
I think it's 4th now.
4th.
And I finished it now. Now I say I'm double checking because I finished what I believe was the last episode, and then it was going to start a thing called Side Quest, which is kind of hilarious. That's like the name of their offshoot. However you even phrase that. So, all right. So they're talking. Josh finished Reacher. Like Josh is actually ahead of something.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. That never happens. But, so he finished. You know what? I'm going to throw the bus at you, Josh. You watched Reacher, but you couldn't join us for the 5 Heart Podcast Live? What the hell?
I understand.
Shut up.
I get it.
So, that's a little bit of what we watched. I also watched. And look, I'm going to say this, and this is a judgment-free place. I watched Wicked on Peacock.
That doesn't surprise me at all. You like musicals.
I do. And you know what? I enjoy it.
I've heard it's good.
So.
Will I watch it? No. But I've heard it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. And that's what I had to add about that. Apparently, they broke it into a 2-parter.
Yes.
Like
I do know that.
Broadway show is like a 3.5 hour thing. And so they've got the 2.5 hour part 1. It's kind of like The Hobbit.
Yeah.
They're taking a 100-page book and making 3 movies out of it. So, Josh says, my daughter has watched Wicked 2 times a day all week. See, I remember like the movies that I watched like that growing up were like Mary Poppins.
Okay.
That if I had a sick day, like if I was homesick, we didn't have like statute of limitations probably cleared out. We didn't have like VHS.
Okay.
We had a VCR, but my aunt, I think, would copy over like a lot of Disney movies.
Yeah.
And had the really long run tapes, like the 6-hour run tapes. So you put 2-3 movies.
I remember those. Okay.
on those. But I remember we had like Mary Poppins on one, and then The Sound of Music.
Okay.
Julie Andrews, I think, first movie. But that was recorded. I'll never forget. That was recorded from the TV. Somebody sat there and recorded that one on the TV.
My sick day viewings were The Price is Right. soap operas. I remember this. I don't know if I told the story on the podcast right now before. There was one summer that my sister would watch some soap opera or whatever. I want to say it was Days of Our Lives, I think. Okay. And so obviously, like in the house, like there's only one TV.
Right.
So whatever, I mean, she was just going to be in charge. Whatever she wanted to watch, that's something. She was older. That's
not my situation.
That's what
that's the one thing my sister and I fought about the most is who had the.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure that we fought some, and I'm sure like if I was down there already and I watched something, she wouldn't have changed. But like if she was there before me and stuff.
Gotcha.
So
first come, first serve.
Yeah. So she'd be watching, and then I started getting into it, where you're like, if you like wrestling, then you can understand because it's very much like, wait a minute, what's the twin gonna do? There's an evil twin now, and it's that person is back from the dead now. But it was one summer. Got into, and then I never watched it since. But so that, and then VHS tapes, we had Ninja Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say we had Encino Man.
Nice.
But yeah, that'd be about it. Price is Right a lot.
I don't. For whatever reason, this is gonna look. There are people watching this who are gonna click off now. Although at this point, you might as well just wait. There's only like an hour left in the entire run of Nerds United, so don't click off yet. But I just never got into The Price is Right.
That's understandable. I mean, you're wrong, but it's understandable.
They're cartoons, man.
Yeah. I watch cartoons as well. But I can't remember what I watched. Yeah, Price is Right. Good.
Okay. All right. Whatever. What is it? The customer is always right in matters of taste.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was like a show you watched.
Oh, no.
I don't remember that one.
I'll tell you what. Speaking of customers, Supermarket Sweep.
I saw a handful of those.
And then there was another one after that on the same channel, like Supermarket Sweep. I was going through the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that had like a mall theme where you had to like run upstairs, which sounds brutal, and had to get like sporting equipment or designer clothes or handbags or things like that. And, a similar theme, I suppose.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, speaking of customers always right, that is absolutely not true.
No, but the full,
yeah,
but the full quote is the customer is always right in matters of taste.
Oh, is
meaning
it? Okay.
That's subjective.
Okay.
So like, I like Yingling, but somebody doesn't like Yingling. And
they're wrong.
They're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, but so. Fred did not have sick time shows as a kid, but Fred's also 60.
Okay.
In college, his hangover viewing was Flash Gordon.
Wow. Yeah.
Flash
Gordon in college. Okay.
And Josh says anyone who didn't enjoy Price is Right as a kid can't be trusted.
Yeah.
And yet here you are, Josh, being my friend for almost 20 years. What does that say about you? What does that say about you? We chose the backdrop for this episode because this is very reminiscent of, we used to just sit at the kitchen table at the other house and have the back door and the blinds behind us. So we're like, let's go old school. In my kitchen, I have, and I'm not going to do the work of turning the camera around. This is the last show. But the fireplace is right there. Very nice brickstone work and some masonry. And the ledge is just cluttered and dirty. And I just didn't feel like showing that part off. So we appreciate you indulging us this one final time. So, Mike, we got the big announcement this week of a lot of the players who are going to be in Avengers.
Yes.
Doomsday.
Yes.
Doomsday.
Yeah.
And it started with Chris Hemsworth, and it ended with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had like anything for it as far as like who was all on there.
Oh,
okay. Because I want to go over that because it is a very big cast, and I don't know how you feel. I think there's a lot of people missing, and I'm not as excited as I was with, Infinity War.
Really?
I don't know, but I think I had more vested interest in the core group with Iron Man and Captain America, the original Captain America, and Hulk and all that. And now like Thor's going to be back. look, I trust the Russo brothers.
Mm-hmm. Although, did you see that there was rumors that like Disney had concerns?
Oh, really?
About them after their Netflix movie.
Oh,
the
Electric
robot
State.
movie?
Electric State. Yeah. That I think. Yeah, they were trying to
Do something different.
do something different. I think they know these characters. They know how to work with these characters. And I'm sure when Doomsday is coming around, probably 2027, I guess is. And does it Secret Wars first and then Doomsday?
No, Doomsday first.
Doomsday first and then Secret Wars. By the time Doomsday comes around, I'm sure we have a good trailer. I'm sure I'm gonna get super excited by it. But the cast is fine, I think.
May 1st, 2026 for Doomsday.
Okay.
Here are before we get into the full list, were there any names that jumped out to you like that were kind of surprised you?
Oh well, the X-Men characters.
Like the OG.
Yeah, the OG X-Men. Yeah.
The one that I was most surprised to see, because I think it was the first one, first of the X-Men that popped up was
Patrick Stewart.
No, Alan Cumming.
Yes.
Nightcrawler. That one, I saw that and I said, we're going to get more Bamfing.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about that because are they going to just use old footage?
That's true.
Or are they going to, is it going to be, because Alan Cummings has talked about that he didn't like the makeup process. He didn't like, being in the prosthetics. Now, granted, nowadays they're just putting dots on your face and, so maybe they're doing something like that where it's easier for him, but he's older gentleman. He's got to be. Yeah.
I don't know. He's doing that Peacock show Traders.
Okay.
So he's keeping busy.
Mm-hmm.
So Fred's being Fred. He's being a little on the negative side. Don't worry about it, Fred. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy it.
Yeah, we don't know what they're doing. We're guessing.
So we have also I was kind of surprised to see Channing Tatum on the list. So
I wasn't that surprised by that.
You think he got his moment? Now they're going to try to build up on that?
100%. I think because it was so popular and he really wants to do Gambit, I think they're going to not give him his whole movie. They'll give him another scene or two.
Yeah. So we've got the Fantastic Four: Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Backrack.
Sure.
We have some of the OG X-Men, including Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, Alan Cumming, we mentioned, Rebecca Romaine, James Marsden as Cyclops, Kelsey Grammer's coming back as Beast, and then throwing in Gambit, Channing Tatum. We're getting some of the Thunderbolts, Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, and David Harbour. We're getting more of the, I guess, mainstay MCU. Chris Hemsworth mentioned, Anthony Mackie, Sebastian Stan, Letitia Wright, Paul Rudd. We're going to see Namor again for the first time since Black Panther 2. Tenoch Huerta Mejia. We're going to get, I'll say Iron Fist, but Shang-Chi. Simu Liu, Lewis Pullman, who I don't know who the hell's Lewis Pullman.
Oh, so he's going to play Sentry.
Oh, okay.
In Thunderbolts.
Okay. Danny Ramirez, Winston Duke, Hannah John Kamen. Who's that?
No clue.
Cool. Tom Hiddleston. So Loki's coming back.
Which also with that, somebody mentioned too, like him coming back, does that ruin Loki season 2?
Or do you think they show him and something happens to the timeline where he's able to break free?
Yeah.
So, Josh, how are you still? They haven't put a good Marvel movie out in a while.
Yeah.
You should have plenty of time to get caught up, man. They're all on D+.
Yeah.
All right. I cannot.
I'm waiting for D+ to get Falcon. Captain America: Brave New World.
I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
And you know why?
Because you love it. And you love bad movies.
Because I spaced out for about 10 minutes in the middle. That's what I do.
Yeah. So
when I got to watch Sonic 3 again here because I did the same thing with Garrett back in the.
I think if you miss out on Sonic 3, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not as critical.
But with that list, it's a lot of people, and I understand they're putting the newer cast and stuff. There's a lot of people missing though.
And one of the Josh just mentioned here, Doctor Strange. Nope, Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch, which, and again, people say stuff on interviews, and it doesn't really mean anything because I mean they have to lie.
Right.
But
Hulky Hulk.
Scarlet Witch, whatever her name is, has said she's not coming
Elizabeth
back.
Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen, thank you, has talked about she's not coming back. However, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, they teased at the end that Star-Lord was going to be coming back. And he said they'll make good on that promise. But no mention of him.
He also said he'd only come back to another Guardians movie with
James Gunn. Yes.
I don't see that happening. Anytime
No.
Although you also got to think if they backed up a big enough money truck.
It's exactly.
So
yeah. Another one. We talked about Daredevil.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox isn't on.
She-Hulk.
Well, I don't think anybody cares about that.
What about Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, yeah. Oh, did they? No, they didn't. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds. No Hugh.
Mhm.
Huge Ackman.
Which also, though, Ryan Reynolds has talked about not wanting to do another one. But that also could be he just got done with this. It's a lot of work for actors, I guess, to pretend to be somebody. I don't know. And then, you want to take a break because you have, $20 million in the bank. So why not? And then another $20 million truck backs up. And then another one, and then they're probably like, I'll do a Deadpool 4, or I'll be in the scene. Yeah. And again, though, this isn't the definitive cast, and we're not doing anything else.
No, this
is a tease.
This is, I think the general belief is that more cast announcements are on the way.
Yes.
So,
and I think there's going to be a lot of surprise for Secret Wars.
I could see them I could see them holding back on Spider-Man until Secret Wars.
Yes.
And I think we need that next Spider-Man movie before that.
Yes.
That'd be nice to see.
Well, and they are doing a Spider-Man 4.
They are.
They've announced it. I don't know when it is. But yeah, it could be in between. I don't know.
Fred says it's a ton of work to dance around in front of a green screen and playing a very small violin. Buddy, I'm telling you. It's here's what I'm thinking. If somebody paid me $20 million, I could probably get in shape.
Well, yes. Well, if they paid you $20 million, plus they hired a personal trainer for you, plus they gave you a chef that cooks all your meals for you, plus you didn't have to work. You don't have to worry about making sales and stuff like that.
Yes.
There's a big chance you could. Yes.
What percentage is my agent getting?
They'll get a 5%. Yeah, standard 5%. Is Ryan Reynolds officially done? I don't know. It depends who you talk to, honestly.
20 times. So they get $1 million.
Yeah.
Of my 20. Yeah. Why did I need a calculator for that?
I don't know. You went to Westland. That's why.
That's right. And I've had a pitcher of beer and then some. Plus all the
yes, the special supplements. You're correct, 100%. Yeah. But no, it's not roids. We don't call it. They're special supplements.
Vitamin S.
Yes.
The Hollywood special.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any of those guys are on that stuff.
I don't think any of them aren't on it. I don't think there's one guy in Hollywood that's a main action. Yeah.
I was trying to think. Like Anthony Hopkins, probably not worried about.
He's not an action guy.
Gary Oldman,
not an action guy.
You know what though? He could be if he wanted to.
Yeah, I mean he could get on the gear. Yeah, sure.
Get on the gas.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is not an action guy. Tom Cruise, yeah, on it.
Think so?
He's on. Yes. He's 75 years old and he looks the same as when he was in his 20s.
He's not 75.
He just turned 78 today.
I'm not gonna.
Happy birthday.
He needs it though for recovery time.
Hiddleston is on it. Yeah. Also, Hiddleston is not an action guy.
Hiddleston's not.
Yeah, he is. He's on it. Yeah. And just how much are they on? Like you have somebody like The Rock who's on everything.
Nice.
And then Hiddleston's probably just a little bit. Just a little.
Just a little. Timothy Chalamet.
Not an action guy.
Joe Manganiello.
I want it.
No,
100%.
He's too pure.
No, here's the thing. Okay. That doesn't, by the way.
This would be a fun segment if this wasn't our last episode.
By the way, so just using special supplements, you still have to work. You still have to have a very hard work ethic. Like if I gave you special supplements and you didn't do anything, nothing's going to change on your body. You're not going to. It's not like the super soldier serum,
right?
Where
that would be nice.
That would be great.
Why couldn't we just get that?
You still have to work out constantly and eat nothing. And unfortunately, you can't have maker's marks. I don't get it. So
I think that it's very reminiscent of like the steroids in baseball.
Yes.
Yes. You still have to hit the ball.
Yes. Yeah.
So
now, does it help? Absolutely. You can work out longer. Your recovery time is a lot less. It's good. I'm not on it. Obviously, I would look better than this.
So that's the cast that we know so far. Josh wasn't disparaging. He was just saying it would be part of the contract for Greg to roll. That's true.
Yes, true. Yes.
So, all right. There were some. So we talked last time about the Toxic Avenger.
Oh yes.
And there's a trailer.
Did you watch it?
No, I forgot.
You want to watch it now?
I mean, can we?
You can, yeah.
Will we get in trouble?
No, nobody watches the show.
Hey, you're calling them nobody.
I mean,
not enough people.
Not enough people. These people, the good people that are watching right now, they're not going to want to contact somebody.
Yeah, you're not going to go kick us off of YouTube, are you? All right, let's take a quick look at. Guess this one.
Yeah.
All right, bear with us, everybody. You get it.
I don't hear it.
Hey, let us know in the comments. Can you hear the Heineken growth hormone? Yeah. You have a nerd show.
Do I? Not really. Well, I mean, your was kind of nerdy.
I mean, like your own nerd show.
Oh, no.
What are we doing? All right, you'll have to let me know if you can hear this. Hopefully you can, so we don't get kicked off. I just want to. Okay. This is our reaction.
Good old reaction videos. I've already seen this though.
Okay.
I want to see what your reaction is.
Oh!
Okay, yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Everything's just kind of hanging there.
You definitely can tell what the vibe is on it.
They're going like B grade horror violent horror comedy.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna have to watch this again when I can hear it better. Big men with guns again. I hope this is.
I'm definitely not going to theaters to see this, but if it was on streaming, I would check it out.
You don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Are we getting a repeat here?
Yeah.
Why are we seeing this part again?
I don't know. Maybe that's just a B movie thing they did. I don't know.
Oh.
No, you'll see him. Yeah, again. Yeah, I think they really like that special effect. Like, we're show more.
They spent a lot of money. I don't know Elijah Wood, Kevin Bacon, and Peter Dinklage are the only names in the movie.
Yeah. Well, those are good names.
Yeah, got a couple of nice ones in
there.
All right. Well, hope you enjoyed us watching that thing.
Are we supposed to be hearing this? Well, we didn't know if you could or not. But we were watching Toxic Avenger trailer, so.
They're talking about movies where you can see things. Everything is just kind of hanging there. Right? Talking about his balls dropping again. That got brought up last night. We were talking about puberty and what happens, how how boys' voices lower. I'm like, yeah, that's when their balls drop.
Yeah.
I got told that was inappropriate.
That's just biology.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's right. All right, so that's the two topics that I knew about.
Okay.
Let me double check, make sure we're not missing any, because anything's possible.
I don't think so.
It's a pretty quiet week.
Yeah.
Hey, that's us.
Hey, look at that.
No. Okay.
Nope.
Mike, are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
So we have had a lot. We've been doing this for about 2 years now, I think, where we would do like the pick'ems or the top, the pick fives or then now we just kind of do it. We show them all. We draft them. These are going to be Nerds United moments.
Yeah.
Or key contributions.
Yeah.
Say. And we're very excited for all of you to see this. Mike put this together. This is a Mike thing.
Yes.
And there's 12 of them. So we'll explain them as we go.
Yeah. Are you able to show us and the board, or is it's going to be the board?
No. We'll be able to show it all.
Oh, okay, perfect.
We'll be moved to the side.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I think.
We'll find out.
There we go.
Hey.
Look at that.
Okay. So this
Closer.
like Greg said, these are your different moments or sometimes general stuff. So we have top 5 episodes because we used to do that. We used to have our top 5. We have our blind rankings.
By the way, I like how you just stole these pictures.
Yes. Yeah, that's
website.
Of course. Our 80s movie tournament, which we did 2 years in a row, I want to say. You did 1 year without me before I started. And obviously I put Christmas Vacation up because that just won every year.
Yeah, for the Christmas tournament. Yeah.
You had some special guest episodes. No, we didn't have Kevin Smith on, but we wanted, so that's why he's
so often.
Yes,
I'm surprised he didn't return any of our calls.
Yeah.
Like, you inspired this. This whole thing is because of you. You are the podfather, so to speak. And
we'll get to it, Josh. We'll get to it, Josh. So then we did pick 5 episodes. So that's ones I really liked. We went to the brewery, I want to say twice, 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times. So that's kind of a moment.
Got to hang out with the master brewer.
Your twin announcement, where I almost kind of spoiled it, that you're having twins. First time on YouTube. Yes, best friend of the show, Josh. You made it. Here's the thing, Josh. Your Facebook, your personal Facebook page has your kids on it with you, and I didn't know if you wanted me to put your kids, who are adorable, on. So I had to either had to crop them out or use that one. So
you could ask me. I probably pictured me and Josh.
Oh well. So our Christmas special episodes.
Fred, Josh looks like he's about to bore me about insurance or investments. Wait until you hear what Josh does for a living.
Turkey before turkey, of course. And then when I joined, by the way, I put this board together. I sent it to Greg, and then I was like, you know what? I shouldn't have put when I joined. It's felt too self-congratulatory. And so I was going to switch it with something else, and I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
But Greg said, no, keep it on there. I was going to switch it to when we went to watch the Huskers play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't. It's funny that you didn't, like, when we went down to Cape Comic-Con.
Oh.
And hung out there for a day and went to the wrestling.
Yeah.
Or
I'll tell you right now, look at Max. So I was trying to, at first I was going to pick specific moments. There's too many of them. And then also obviously 305 episodes that just for me that I looked through. I'm like, I'm not going to look through all this, but it was good. Like going back and looking like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. I want to re-listen to this one. And so.
I just want to say, speaking of re-listening to episodes, I have never gone back.
I know you haven't. Because there was a couple times, not many, but I had to tell you like, hey, it's the wrong episode on. Or the audio was bad. Oh. And you'd be, okay, let me fix it. Only handfuls.
I would almost always fix it too.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay.
Since you got to create the board.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Christmas special.
Okay.
Only because the picture we have there is not our first Christmas special. I don't think. Maybe it was, but that's gotta be maybe it was one of our first ones, 2018 or 2019. We have Nolan on there. And there was another Christmas special that I had my nephew Braden my nephew Braden on as well. Plus, Christmas is a fun time. We usually have a good topic. I think we've done. This could kind of go to top 5 too, because I think we did some top 5 Santas or songs and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go Christmas special.
And what I remember about this, so I've always done a very special Christmas special, and I've always, if fortunate enough to have people in person, I remember the first very special Christmas special I had my friends Dan and Emily at the house. This was over in Salem, all the way back then, and I had made cookies that day.
Oh,
so fed them cookies.
Nice.
But for this one here with Nolan, and I think you're at 18 or 19. We made hot chocolate.
Yes, we did.
So
yes,
enjoy some hot chocolate. So that's a good one. I think that I would probably be in trouble if I didn't select the Twins announcement first.
I think 100%. I was like, he has to get that one. It's so weird thinking about the fact that I do remember when you announced the Twins on there. And also when one of them, I don't know who was first came back from the NICU, Matthew, because we were doing a podcast, it was separate places, and you had mentioned that he was home, and I think he was like right in his, right by you or something like that. But it's I know we've done this, or at least I've been part of this for 7 years, and the fact that honestly, it seems like just a couple days ago that you made that announcement, but they're 4 years old now. Four. So yeah, it's weird to think of that. I started out without you only had one kid.
Yeah,
and now you have 17.
No,
wow,
3. So yeah, and I experienced this in my own life, and I hear about this from my clients. Feel it when you're a parent, it's long days and short years. So the 4 years have gone by in a flash, but there are some days that's like, just let it be bedtime.
All right. You know what? Before you steal this, I have to take it. I'm going best friend of the show, Josh.
Oh,
that's right. Now he's my best friend now.
What?
That's right. I picked him.
That's not how that works.
Yep.
Anything you want to add about that?
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy.
I'm just going to stare at his picture.
Thanks, Josh. he says, "Yay!" Can I fight you for him?
You can. I mean, then you'll lose your dignity and for the show, Josh.
All right.
I'm going to share him, but he's technically my pick.
Okay.
I'm picking him second.
I would go. It was a really good time. The couple times we got to go. I'm gonna go to the brewery.
Ooh, that was good. That was a good time.
It's like they just set up flights for us.
Yes.
We got to learn about beers. We got to do our show. They were so gracious at 4204. I missed them.
Yes.
So much. The restaurant's not there either.
No, nothing's there.
Nothing. They're gone. They ran into some bad management, and then they just they. I
know they tried. I went to the restaurant. I want to say I ate their food twice, maybe. I know once for sure. It was fine. But their beers were always good. They had a salted caramel.
The salted caramel.
That was so good.
The pecan.
It's like a pecan ale or something like that.
Yeah. But pecan brownie.
Yes.
So Josh says, going back to him because the show's all by him now. I remember the day I became best friend of the show. I asked what I had to do to be best friend of the show and make it official. Now that I think of it, Mike supported me. Flip side, Greg blocked me maliciously on 5 hard. I didn't block you. I put you in timeout, and if you don't watch your ass, I'm going to do it here too. So brewery is a great time. The beers are great. The staff was wonderful. And again, it's something that you can really only do in the small towns.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go across the river to Anheuser-Busch. Be like, can we record a show in your brewery?
Yeah. Well, Bell's not necessarily a small town, but yeah.
Well, they call it a great big small town.
Yeah. I think we did that in the afternoon too.
Yeah, it was like a Sunday or something.
Yeah, but it was like, I want to say it was earlier. Like, I just remember thinking it was odd that we're having flights of beer at like noon or something like that. Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, but I just remember like I'm carrying my bag of all the equipment, and the patrons who are sitting there like in the bar area, like, where are they going? Like, what? Why do they? What's
Yes,
the
yeah.
table and
Yeah.
extension cord? What is going on?
Yeah.
We're special, bitches. We're Belleville's #1 podcast at the time. Or maybe still are.
All right, I'm gonna have to go. There's two ones. There's a couple ones I like. Okay, I'm gonna go our when we're on YouTube or maybe our first time, because those are the episodes I really like. I don't know why. I go back and watch them. Sometimes I laugh at my own jokes. You know,
You're gonna go back
I'm the only one
6
that
months
does.
from now and be like, hey, Greg laughed at that too.
Yeah. But yeah, us being on YouTube, and I thought we would have more than 75 subscribers, but I'm also surprised that we have 75.
We never quite got to 100.
No.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do. You know what? Hey, if you subscribe to this show, don't leave. You never know when we'll throw some super special secret.
Could be in
content your way.
2026 or was it 2026 or 2027 when Tuesday came out?
May 1, 2026.
2026.
So I think I'm gonna go. I really like the top 5 episodes.
They are really good.
I think one of my favorite episodes, across all 400 of them now, is the Marvel moments.
Yes.
I can still name, there's the post credit scene from Black Panther where T'Challa is addressing United Nations. He says, more unites us than divides us. There's Wimpy Steve jumping on the dummy grenade. Mm-hmm. There's Yondu's funeral.
Yeah.
I mean, these are that episode and that string of episodes. And yeah, did we borrow it from Tom and Jim?
No,
okay.
We didn't. I was just gonna say it was weird for us because we were the first ones to do top 5 episodes.
That's right.
A lot of people hadn't thought of it before, and then we were like, "Let's do that." And then other people might have taken it and run with it. Who knows? But
they did their shtick.
Yeah, they did their part of it. Who knows?
So yeah, that's
top 5. Okay, top 5 episodes are good. You know what I like? I like pick 5 episodes, which is kind of, I want to give credit to you for it.
That's not the 80s movies.
You saw a graphic for, online, and I've seen these before where it's, you can only pick 3 of these and it'll give you 12 choices or whatever, and then you took that, we went, instead of picking 3, let's do pick 5. And we did, I want to say 80s movies, 90s cartoons, serial. We did it till we ran out of what we could do, sci-fi type movies, I think, or something like that.
Music from the 90s.
Yeah.
So, that we did a lot of those, and I think all of those are here on YouTube.
Yes.
So make sure you go back and enjoy those.
Yes.
I'm gonna take one. I can't believe I didn't get it sooner, and I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad, but inviting you to the show.
Oh,
because I didn't think. Honestly, I didn't know when I invited you, just like, hey, come on and talk about Infinity War, that you would become the co-host of the year for the next 305 episodes.
I didn't either.
So, what a hell of a run!
Yeah,
it's been. I said this before, and this is not to people are going to watch this later. Maybe past guests are going to find this. Be like, I remember I did an interview on this show back in 2014 or something like that. But the version of Nerds United with you, Mike, is my favorite version of the show.
Well, thank you.
So,
unfortunately, the numbers went down, but
but the fun was had.
Yes,
I'm like the fireworks salesman in Joe Dirt. It's not about the consumer; it's about me. Damn it! I'm making myself happy.
It was good. Like I don't know what your plan was. I know we did the episode together, had probably like 2 beers, maybe. And then afterwards, 3. Yeah.
I have no idea. You know how many beers I've had since then?
Yeah. Honestly, normally we would have 2 to 3 beers at most per episode. Sometimes we'd always have at least 1.
Sometimes you would bring the beers.
Sometimes I would bring the beers. You would have it. Yeah. But I know after that first episode, afterwards, that's when you talked. I want to say it was that night that you were like, hey, do you want to come on more often? And I was like, sure, why not? That's good.
And it's important to say, in the clip that I played earlier in the show about like Mike and I graduating high school together, like we didn't hang out.
No,
school.
not at all.
It wasn't until I think
He was way cooler than me. I had all the girls around him. You know, he was skateboarding. You know.
If they didn't, if they still were on board with having the girls arm, you definitely lost them saying that I was skateboarding.
He was the quarterback. You
We
know,
didn't even have football.
he made his own football team.
I don't know if that makes me any cooler. Though.
Yeah, just to throw the football around
And then go chase after it, like one man fetch. No, but it wasn't until MySpace really that we just started talking more.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and then so
That was MySpace days.
I was in Nebraska at the time.
I was in Highland.
MSN Messenger.
Yes.
We're really dating ourselves here.
Old school.
So all that to say that asking you to join me on the show on a permanent basis was the best Nerds United decision I ever made.
And here we are. All right. Okay. I'm gonna pick this because one, I like it, and two, I don't. I would feel bad if you had to pick it because I know you don't like it. I know I'm not talking about best friend of the show, Josh.
I know which one you're picking.
Turkey before turkey. Yes. Greg did, and we talked about this all the time. You did introduce me to Turkey before turkey, which we've done. We did a lot of years. We didn't do all the years.
We didn't do it last.
No, you did it with 5R.
I did on 5R.
Yeah, and again, I think I talked about this. With me, you'll do like this little, like a droplet of wild turkey, and there you had like a glass full. I'm like, okay, this Greg can do it. I think you still make Greg too. Yeah, I agree. Yes, I think I should at least come over to his house and make Greg do turkey before turkey every year.
I'll probably still do it on 5R.
Okay, well, yeah, perfect. Mike runs with this. Okay. So yeah. It's fun watching Greg not be able to handle whiskey, and still do it. And I think I want to say the first year it was like you introduced it to me, and I don't think you expected it to happen subsequent years.
I don't know
because it was. I know on the next year you were kind of like doing this stuff. I know there was. I know there was several. There was at least once or twice where you're like, I'm not going to do it again this year. Where this is the last opportunity. No, it's not.
We keep doing it.
Yeah.
We're locked in. All right, Mike, what do we have left?
Okay, we have blind rankings left, 80s tournament, special guest.
I think that's it.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I thought you did 80s tournament. Oh, well.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
I am going to go ahead and do, since this was kind of how the show started, the special guest episodes.
Yes.
Because those were the episodes that even after you became a regular, you're like, you did those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because it's difficult to have three people on, I think, sometimes.
Right.
So you would have, you had a lot like, so the thing with special guest episodes, I always think of Kevin, because one of my favorite episodes was with me, you, and Kevin, and we did the wrestling draft.
Oh yeah.
That was a really good one. And he was on for another one. I think we did a top, I think we talked about the show on Netflix, Wrestlers.
We did.
And then we did a
just
top 5. Yeah, I want to say our top 5 wrestling finishers or something like that. Yeah. Where that one, no, it was blind rankings for him for finishers, because we made it to where his clothesline of doom.
Oh yeah.
He managed to get out with several.
Oh God, he popped so much for that one. We love Kevin, but he's a great dude. And
Yes.
I mean, and he plays the character of being a mark for himself very well.
Yeah.
We know, if you knew Kevin Huntsberger, truly a humble guy, a great guy. But he kind of like, I have a different, like I'm a different persona. I'm turned up to 11 a little bit. On 5-Heart, Kevin's like that, a lot of times, like in his wrestling persona.
Yeah. Great. Josh is right there.
So Josh says, Fred, just imagine in the middle of what's Greg drinking today, which is a little clip that I do on 5-Heart. that I sang myself.
Okay.
There's a record scratch, and Mike pops up and yells at Greg to take a damn shot and disappears.
By the way, and somebody in the comments talking about this, we talked about turkey before turkey, but I didn't explain what it is. I think Josh explained it perfectly. It's you do a shot of wild turkey before the day before Thanksgiving.
Right, the night before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the night before Thanksgiving.
I think I've been doing that since 2010, 11, something like that.
Okay.
So,
all right, so you did special guest episodes, which, and again, we had Kevin on, but you had a lot of other people on.
A lot of creators.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous, I mentioned Van Jensen, but the most famous was Daryl McDaniel,
Yes.
aka DMC from Run DMC. I actually had him on in like the first year.
Yes.
Had some of my friends, Justin Holman, Joe Dodd, who are tremendously talented. Joe still drawing and working, doing art for maybe not now, but most recently for like Hasbro. But he's done comics for Marvel and DC and other ones, and so just I'm blessed to have these exceptionally talented people who I know and in a circle of friends with. But beyond that, a lot of times it was going on Kickstarter, finding a project, supporting the project, reaching out to the creators and say, hey, I'm back in this project. I have this podcast. Would you want to come on and talk about your project and get some more word out?
Yeah.
Most of the time. So, oh yeah. And you remember Dan Cakes?
Name sounds really familiar.
He kind of the first guy. He's St. Louis, or was from St. Louis originally. Was the first one who did like the pancake art.
Oh yes.
And so thank you, Josh, because for the longest time before we had the new like social media cover, it was some of the names of people that I've talked to on the show or so.
Also, pit stop. What is wild turkey?
It's a
whiskey. I don't know.
Bourbon type thing. You want to go down? It's a booze.
Yeah, it's a booze. Yeah.
It's a Kentucky.
You know what? Just get it.
Yeah, just
get it.
Try it.
Yeah,
like it. Make sure you don't fall asleep on your back. Just roll over on your side or something.
All right, so we have blind rankings and 80s tournament. Between those two, I'm going blind rankings.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't remember who.
Shut down.
I want to. Yes, it's not the best for sure. I like the American Honey version of it though.
That's the one I got.
I know. But we blind race. I got that from TikTok because that was when I would scroll through for hours. That's what I would see all the time. And then I want to say I might have brought it up or to you. I'm not sure. But we did a lot of different blind rankings, and it's just a quick little thing. It was one of those that like a lot of times we wouldn't have a main topic, and so just be like, okay, let's blind rank superheroes or whatever. Blind rank this one villains. So.
Yeah. And that leaves me with by default 80s tournament.
Yes.
Now 80s tournament different from the Christmas tournament.
I think maybe I meant Christmas tournament.
Okay. Yeah, because we did.
Oh no.
We did an 80s movies tournament.
We did an 80s movie tournament. Look, either tournament, honestly.
Any of the movie tournaments.
Here's the thing, we'll just do movie tournaments in general.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that Christmas Vacation won every year. I think there's better Christmas movies, but the people voted how they voted. It was what it was. I don't remember who won the 80s movie tournament.
I don't think it was Goonies.
It might have been Goonies. They had to be top 4 for sure.
I have to look that up.
But yeah.
Not gonna do it now.
No.
We probably could. It wouldn't take that long.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No need.
Yeah.
We're already an hour and a half in. So
yeah. For our last episode.
Yeah.
So that's the draft.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Great memories that had 400 episodes of Nerds United, and bittersweet that it comes to an end. Here I had one star comment because we've been able to look it up for next week's show is what Josh did, which is in line for what he said earlier. Is the first reunion show next Friday. Again, we're not saying that you'll never see us again. What we are saying is that
it has to be something big.
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, I can't think unless Thunderbolts isn't going to bring us back.
Thunderbolts asterisk.
Yeah, Fantastic Four. I don't think is going to bring us back. 100%. Yeah. Although I'm somewhat looking forward to Fantastic Four. From what I've heard, there's supposed to be a trailer coming out April 4th.
From what I heard,
Mhm.
it says, spoiler alert, don't click this if you want to know what may happen and it could change the face of the MCU. And don't fall for that shit.
Yeah.
So, no, I think, at 400, it's a good round number.
Mhm.
It's been a hell of a ride. And, I don't want to say going out on top, but at the end of the day, we're going out.
We're going out, yeah.
So, I want to make sure that I continue to do what I can to stress that if you like the movies that are hitting theaters for Marvel, DC, or whatever, The Boys on Prime Video, if you like any of that content, go support your local comic book shop because they need you right now. They're still kind of trying to recover from COVID. If you've ever, I say this, when the Blockbusters of the world went away and you weren't seeing regular people to go and consume content regularly, comic shops became that last bastion of a personally curated experience. I used to go into Family Video in Salem, and I'd go in there 2 times a week. So I had that kind of time.
Yeah.
And I got to know all the people. I was like, hey, what's new? What's good this week? And they'd be like, oh, we think you'll really like this, whatever it was. And most of the time they were right because they had the track record of what I was renting. Similar at my experience is Twilight Comics, Swansea, Illinois. I'll go in there, and it's not so much now because I'm being just a little bit more cautious.
Yeah.
Careful with my spending, I suppose. But the reason that we have Die, is because I said, hey, what's good, and was told about this, and 4 volumes later they were right.
Thank you, Minnie.
Minnie's here. Said, Mike, you are welcome to join Five Heart anytime.
All right.
What are you going to add to the Nebraska Cornhusker discussion?
I will be the guy who knows nothing about football, and I'll just keep asking, what does that mean? Explain this to me.
It'll probably be like last night's show where Minnie asked me if I watched any of the press conferences or anything this week. I'm like, no, I didn't see anything. So if you come in with that level of preparation,
okay,
you can be a perfect panelist over there.
How's the Cornhuskers doing now?
Well, it's the basketball's over, baseball's not great, and football hasn't started.
Okay,
football is in spring practice.
Okay,
so not a whole lot. But anyway, the comic book shop. Thanks for throwing me off. The comic book shop. You get to know those people, and they will guide you to titles, to artists, writers, things like that maybe you are not yet aware of, but are aligned with some of your past purchases. And so I really can't speak highly enough about our local comic shops. They need us, so go support them, please. If you like any of the stuff you see on the streaming apps or in the theaters, please go support your local comic book shop. So
agreed. Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
That'll do it for the 400th episode of Nerds United, a jitterymonkey.com podcast. And Jittery Monkey will still be there. I'm still paying all the damn domain fees and all that other stuff because, I'm not going to make Kevin pay for that.
Yeah.
I should, but I'm not going to. And make sure if you're a wrestling fan that you check out my 123 cents, the podcast, my123cents.com, and keep supporting Kevin. Kevin's a great guy. Mm-hmm. So for the co-host of the year, Mike Luther, I'm Greg Mahachko. This has been Nerds United for 400 wonderful episodes. We remind you each and every week, and for the last time, Mike, to be kind
and rewind.
This is a production of the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network. For more jittery shenanigans, go to jitterymonkey.com.